Welcome everybody to the Just Sell Method Masterclass series. We are going to be bringing you another expert in the field when it comes to being able to generate leads, close deals, all that fun stuff so that you can just sell. Essentially, what we're going to be talking about today is the organic side of things. So in our last Masterclass series, we talked a lot about nurturing and branding and all that fun stuff. Jeff is here with us today. He has built audiences. He's built a very cool kind of done-for-you solution that's going to help obviously curate those leads, turn them into customers. So we're going to cover that. But Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today. How's everything been going? Jeff and I go way back, by the way, guys. Like, we used to be partners when he had an agency, and that was really fun. So it's cool to see where you've been. Maybe give us a 2-minute catch up here on what you've been able to build.
Yeah, I like that. Wow, it's been a while. So yeah, things have really changed since back in the days. Like, really, it's really expanded our portfolio of like services and really honing in on like exactly what I think we're good at, and that is list building. I actually created a company called List Builder, of all things. Since then, I think back then I was just doing websites and then Facebook ads and stuff. But now it's like all in on list building and generating leads for businesses.
Very cool. Excited to see what you can do with this. So we're going to have you screen share and maybe go over this for our audience. And along the way, I'll be asking, I'm sure, questions. This is one area in my own knowledge where I think I'm most inexperienced is the social side. I'm such an introvert. I don't know how to use it. I always joke I'm like an 80-year-old. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So maybe you can give some tips too for people that are more like me, very novice in this space, on how to even get started. And then we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So there is your screen. I can see it just fine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love this streamer. There's a restream.
Yeah.
So cool. So yeah, just put together a little presentation to help just give you guys a better idea of how to grow your email and SMS list on social media. Because I've been doing social media. Remember when MySpace was a thing?
Oh yeah.
It was like 10
I'm
years
that
ago.
old. We've just said how old we are, if you know what MySpace is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember having a MySpace and I'm like, I'll never have a Facebook page. And it's like, where's MySpace at now? It's not even, I think it is still up, but it's definitely not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing my social media since those days. And I actually taught myself how to code HTML code using like when you can do like the custom MySpace layouts.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
a thing. And then from there, it progressed to custom Facebook landing pages when that was a thing. That's not a thing anymore. And then I got hired on at a web design company to do those custom Facebook landing pages. And then they're like, hey, can you build websites? I'm like, never have, but I'll give it a try.
Nice.
So I was building websites, and then I think, I progressed I was like, I could probably run some like ads. And I think when you guys run like Facebook ads, I was using like the Facebook ad stuff and like absolutely crushed it with some of those clients. And then I realized as I was doing like all that stuff part time. I don't know if you knew that or not, but at the same time, I was working for a big manufacturer in the off road space, and I'll kind of roll into that. But is it cool if I share some of my background? Just
Absolutely. Yeah. Go for it.
Cool. So, all right, here's just a hodgepodge of pictures of me. So the company I used to work for is called Can-Am. They make like these vehicles, like off-road vehicles. Well, I've been riding ATVs since I was 8 years old, 35 now. And sure enough, I landed this dream job of sorts. I got hired on as it's called the community manager. Basically, I was in charge of their social media. And they had like over 2 million followers between LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So I was managing all that, putting up the post. And then in addition, I got to go on all these cool trips, be in all the commercials too.
Oh, wow. So this was more like fun, not so much a job.
Yeah, it was like, I tell people, I don't think I've had a real job since I was like 16, and that was at Target.
Oh,
And
wow.
I ended up getting fired because I was like racing these vehicles, and I'd call in and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm sick, I can't come in," and obviously you can hear like these things in the background,
Funny.
like yeah.
So
So
you were meant to be an entrepreneur for sure.
oh yeah, totally, yeah. I think I actually started in high school. Like my first entrepreneurship type thing is I was making T-shirts for just my riding buddies, just to wear to go riding every weekend. And people would see the shirts and they're like, "Oh, hey, can I buy a shirt?" I was like, people didn't even ride. I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah." So in high school, I sold T-shirts, and I remember I have a notepad in the room behind me, like hanging up in a shadow box. Just a notepad. This is before iPhones or anything like that, and I would take down orders, and then I'd bring the order next week.
Nice. So you have like your first order that's in a shadow box.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. That's very cool.
But yeah, I did that, and then like one day when COVID hit, I got a phone call, and my wife was working at home too, and she's sitting like I don't know 3 foot behind. I get a phone call from my boss, and he's like, "Hey man, we gotta let you go." Like
Oh,
COVID hit, they thought the industry was gonna go under
yeah.
but it's really like it really took off for the off road market because people weren't couldn't go on vacation, so they just bought like off road thing like canoes, all that industry like it really boomed. But I got let go, and I was like, well, I don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. And I was out of a job for like 3 months. And I was doing like some web design stuff here and there, but really not making much money. Then I saw an ad, actually a story like this. It was a story, Kevin Harrington on like
Hmm.
Short.
Yeah.
Well, one of the guys I knew was running this event in Orange County, California with Kevin Harrington. I'm like, wow, that'd be an awesome event to go to. Um, but the thing was, um, the the guy that was running this event, I went to another event. It was like a mastermind type style, and after the 2 day, through 3 days of the event, you get to the pitch, and it was like at like it was like 75K to be in the mastermind. I'm like, dude, that is more money than I am making right now. There's no way. And I told him like, dude, I don't care if I'm the guy that just brings the coffee in. I just want to be involved somehow in the mastermind. So fast forward like until I see this is like a year goes by. I see this, okay. And I have that guy's number that ran the event previously, and that's running an event with Kevin Harrington. And I'll click on that story, and it goes through application to go to this event with Kevin Harrington. Well, the event was like $10,000 to go to the event. I was like, okay. Oh, again, I don't have money to go to that, but I'm like, I could do something with this though. So what I did was I took all the questions they had in the application and just turned it into a chat bot inside Instagram.
Oh, how cool. That's
Yeah,
so innovative. Wow.
thanks.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
and I made it look exact like I made a brand new account that looked like it was their account, so it looked like they can really envision what it would look like and how it would function in all reality. So I sent this to his name's Nick, and I said, "Hey man, check this out." And I don't know why I said this. I'm sitting on the couch with my wife, and we're like watching a movie, and I he said, "Hey, call me," and he's like, "Hey, how can I start working with you?" And I don't know why I said this, but I'm like, "I'll tell you what, I'll be out there tomorrow." Well, I live in Indiana, and this event's in Orange County, California.
Oh, wow.
And then you could probably guess what she said. She's like, "Are you getting paid for this?" And I'm like, I don't know, maybe."
Yeah. Just took the opportunity.
Yeah, and I only had enough money to book a one-way ticket out there.
Oh, so this had to pan out.
Yeah, it was like
Thank
burning the
God.
ticket. I had to make it work. So this is me actually booking the ticket out there. Crazy enough.
This is so cool. So you took a chance on the opportunity, which I'm sure is very inspiring for a lot of people who are watching this too.
Yeah, and this is me and Nick eating breakfast at his office in Fashion Island in Newport Beach, California, the next day at 9 a.m.
Nice.
And then we just got to work. I went out there to finish the chatbot up, but I saw there's so many things they were doing that I can help them with. So we're like whiteboarding everything, and they were like getting all these leads from that. They're using ClickFunnels, and I'm like, hey, you ever heard of High Level? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right, let's get you set up. So I set up the High Level account, and then like instead of them getting leads from ClickFunnels, and then it sends it over to a Google spreadsheet, and then from the Google spreadsheet, they would like have to manually text people back and forth to talk them into coming
Wow.
to the event. It was just a lot of manual actions.
Mm-hmm.
So we set up High Level. It really like solved a lot of the texting back and forth. And then sure enough, people were coming to the office that were in the mastermind, and I'd get to talking to them. And long story short, I picked up a few clients and had enough money to fly back home.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But this was some of the stuff that we put together for him inside of
Oh,
High Level, like mapping out. He had all these people that booked the call, but they missed the call. They had like no reminders, anything like that, no automations.
mm,
It was automation that I like to be very visual. Like if they can actually see what it looks like, especially with funnels and chatbots and stuff, it's very hard to describe. Like you say chatbot, that could mean anything. And
right.
automations, it's so vague, but they can see exactly what we're doing. It's easier to sell for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
So question for you guys. Really, the purpose of being here is like, how would you like to get more followers, more likes, more comments, more reach, qualify leads, grow your email list and your SMS list, and track the effectiveness of your ads better? So that's what we're going to cover today.
Yes.
Sounds too good to be true, but it really is possible because I've done it a
I
lot.
believe in you. I mean, if a man can take a one-way flight and then land this, I'm sure anything's possible. That's very cool.
Yeah. So it really combines everything that I've learned from like managing a ton of social media followers, and like
Mhm.
followers is one thing, and I will break down like how the algorithm works on Instagram.
Cool.
So we'll run into that next. So we have two directions we can take right now. We can go down the ad route or organic, but I think I usually start with organic because if something doesn't work organically, there's no point of putting money behind it. You're
Right.
just going to burn through money. So I always
Right.
like to start with organic. So that's the route we're going to go now.
Cool.
Um, so one, I like start organically. I usually start by optimizing your account. So what does that mean? It's like I usually start on Instagram because I think a lot of people spend time there more than Facebook now.
Yeah.
And I like the algorithm much better than Facebook. So well, we can start there.
Cool.
So the reason why we're going to optimize the account is I tell people all the time, the traffic's already on Instagram. Focus on optimizing your account to if they visit your profile, they can see what you're about immediately. Versus leaving Instagram, go into the website and hoping you get traffic to your website. You can do the SEO play, but that's a long play, but it is important.
Right.
Just start first by just bottom up. All right, we're going to start by optimizing the account. So first things first, you need a great username. Um, does it? Here's some things to keep in mind. Use your business name. Don't use underscores. A lot of people use underscores. Um, don't use numbers. And are you using your business account? Like, do you have a business account for your business, and do you have a personal account? Oftentimes, I
Mhm.
see business accounts say like Joe's Fitness. They'll have that, but you see like personal stuff on there.
Right.
Sometimes it's great, like building a personal brand. When it's like a physical location.
Got it. Well, let's apply this to the agency world. So we've got a lot of new agency owners just getting started. They're probably their following, I would guess, is on their personal account currently to like get the word out about their business. So if they start a business account, what are your recommendations on starting from zero? Because I would guess that's probably why some of them are using a personal account too, to like post about the business, right? There's crossover. They already built something. So what's your recommendation? Let's say I started an agency today and I'm setting all this up on at least starting an audience there. Is it just to start posting about the business? Do you have anything relatable, which probably comes from a personal place? What do you suggest?
Yeah, I always try to split them off. Like you can have your personal account and your business, and those two can work together. So, for example, if you're posting on your personal account, and say like I step back and like I got these two monitors set up like the last week. I could take a picture and be like, oh, check out my new office for List Builder. And I post that on my personal account, but I can tag at List Builder. So you're creating content for your personal account, but you're also raising awareness. Hey, I have a business now too. Click on this like tag and it'll actually go to my business account.
Cool. Okay, that makes sense.
And vice versa. If you're posting on your business account and it's a picture of you in there, and, I'll show you some examples here in a bit too. Then you can tag vice versa. So if it's on the business and it's a picture of you like working or at an event or something, you can tag your personal account so it goes back and forth, and you're growing both accounts at the same time.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. All right. So the next step is to optimize your profile picture. So we're just going to focus on the business account right now. So your profile picture should represent your business. So usually you use your company logo. And two, is your logo legible? Meaning like a lot of times there's logos that are like horizontal and like the ends will get cut off. Just make sure it fits in a circle, because that's what it all is on social media. And then, do you have the same logo on all your social media platforms for your business? It's nice to switch up the the logo. So, like for example, for October, I think it's breast cancer awareness month, so you could change it to like pink, so you
Oh,
do
okay.
that across the board. So it's all like it's all matches, like it's all on brand for every media account.
And I found that Canva works really well. If you have a straight logo and you're looking to like create something that can fit in a little bubble, that's a really good platform to just use and even create something that can go along with that.
Yeah, the Canva is awesome when it comes to that. I think they even have like templates that you can
A little
use.
logo. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, optimize your profile picture. And then moving down on the page. So now we have the name. So you have a username, then you have the name. So how the algorithm works now on like the raw searching for different businesses, it mainly uses SEO now versus like hashtags.
Hmm.
So when it comes to your company name, you want to use not only like your name here where it's highlighted, but I usually recommend just putting like a slash or a line, and then something that represents what you do, and it's short and concise. Like mine is email and SMS list growers.
Got it. So something keyword related is what you
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
there.
So
Okay.
your
That's cool.
profile is going to be found a bit easier than just if I just had list builder.
Is there a difference between putting the keywords in the description versus the actual like name section?
I think the name section is more relevant because it's a higher, like when you're searching for something,
Mhm.
I'll look for that first, and then your bio. We also optimize the bio. So like think of short and concise for the name, then like a description is for your bio, so you can
Cool.
have like more characters to work with. And then you can turn category on and off. I don't think this really matters too much, but if you're using it, you could select the category like is this software, but there isn't there isn't many
That's
categories to choose from. So this one doesn't matter too much, but you could toggle it on. And then the description, again, try to be short and concise because you only have a certain amount of characters to use. But you want to think about like, what do you do? Why are you different? Use emojis when you can, just because it's more visual and people can see it versus text a little easier. And then make sure to use a CTA, a call to action at the end. So in my case, it's like DM build for more info.
Oh, that's cool. I see a lot of people put like in the description or in the bio, I see them try and put links, and you can't click on that if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I'm usually like, oh, how are you gonna get that over? Like, you can't. It's not something I can click on.
Oh, that's the thing. There's like so many rules inside of like Instagram that same thing for captions. You can't have links inside of captions.
Right.
Oftentimes when people are scheduling social media posts, like using like Sprout Social or anything like that, if it's just posting to like all the channels at once, that's probably the reason why it has the link in the caption. Because Facebook, you can click on the link. Instagram, you can't for the captions.
Got it.
If you are using, good.
So to DM, do you actually recommend that people have that as a call to action? I've never actually been one to like reach out on Instagram, but how powerful is that versus like visiting a website or doing something like that? Is it because they're natively like already on the platform?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is like since they're on Instagram already, like I think the average right now, the average amount people scroll on their phone is a mile. Like
Oh, wow.
4 inches at a time, something like that. Like it's nuts.
That's crazy.
So as much as you can, try to leave them on the platform.
Got it.
Same thing with ads too. Like if you're doing Facebook or Instagram ads, if you leave them on the platform, you're gonna get cheaper ad
Mhm.
costs than rather than like sending someone a link to the landing page. And I'll cover that in a second too when we get to ads. But by the how long do we have? Like an hour, 45
Oh,
minutes?
yeah. You're good. You have
Okay.
all the time you need. I was
All right.
going to ask you, I think the next section you're going to talk about links because I do have a question on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, DM and then make sure you have a link too. So links. Yeah. So you
You answered it. Do you use a link tree? Link trees are like everywhere. Everybody has them. And I was just wondering, does that actually work? Like, there's so many options.
Yeah, I don't like link trees, and matter of fact, Instagram has their own link tree builder now where you can have multiple links. The thing I don't like about Linktree is like you're just adding friction to whatever you're trying to get people to. So, for example, I see personal trainers all the time. They're like, "Oh, click the link in my bio." Well, it's a link tree. Then you click the link, then it opens up a website. Then it's like
Yeah.
6 or 7 links. And you're like, and it all looks the same. It's like text based. You're like, I don't even know what was I clicking on this
Yeah.
for?
That's my usual experience. I'm like, wait, which one was it again that I was trying to get to? Yeah, I have the same experience. Do you recommend that people are using a link to a contact page or the actual converting page or like a home page or something where it's more brand awareness?
I think it depends on your current strategy. If like if your strategy is like to book more calls and you have a custom landing page built that has a video talking about your offer and then your calendar is below that,
Mhm.
that's the one I would do. Or in my case, it's just getting people to that link because if all that link is right now is just booking page.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so I would just consider your strategy for that one. But I don't really rely on that link so much because the way that we use List Builder is like actually having a conversation based inside the DMs and then sending whatever link we want that's automated to that particular
Got
person.
it. Got it.
So moving down to highlights. So highlights is a good way to back to like me saying your when someone visits your profile, they should immediately know what you do and they can like find out what dive in a bit deeper. So like on mine have events, demo, YouTube testimonials, and this is a great way when you're shooting content. You probably have, if you put up stories and you don't have any highlights, you can go back through your past stories and select, like, think of the categories, like like services, demos, testimonies, culture.
Mhm.
What stories have you posted in the past that you are like categories in some of those categories? You may have your own categories, but you have content more than likely. All you have to do is just add to a story highlight and name it whatever you want.
Cool. So these are like sections where you can build trust and more brand authority with what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So moving on. All right. So now, like, I usually give time just to like optimize your account, but I think for time purposes, like, we'll just keep moving on. But there's gonna be a replay, right? So people can go back
Yeah.
and all right,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Awesome. So for this is like the profile checklist, just the overview, like username, profile picture, optimized name for SEO, CTA, highlights, and then content optimization, which we'll get to here in a second as well. So in like Instagram is your website. Traffic's already like on Instagram. People are spending hours on Instagram. You just gotta put content out that people relate to
Mhm.
and look at, and then visit your Instagram account.
Got it. Cool.
Um, yeah,
I do see you have one of these trendy big pictures right on your grid.
yeah.
How do you post those? I've seen them actually like on the grids, but I must miss when like they're kind of scatter posted. How do you post something like that? Because you're kind of getting a section of the little overall picture. What's your recommendation? Because I'm starting to see that becoming like a much bigger thing. And I'm not sure even myself how to use it.
It does take a lot of planning, but like since every like there are rows of three, then if you're like making and like say like one strip at the top, which was I
Mhm.
was at a prospecting on man event in Tampa. I like you got to think about, all right, what's the first tile gonna look like, second tile, and third tile, and then see that first tile has like sliders where you can see more videos or
Mhm.
videos and pictures. I just set this up in Photoshop, just like a grid, and then I just continually add to. You could probably do it in Canva too, but
Cool. Cool. And do you post them all at once or do you like
yeah, I would. You could like for like one strip three. I just do like one in the morning, one midday, and then one at night, and
oh,
that way it's not too staggered,
got it.
and you're
Got it.
still like people see like, oh, okay, this looks like it leads to another one. So then they're more likely, oh, okay, I got another piece of the puzzle, and you're not having to wait
Um,
too long.
I get it. It's like more enticing that way. You're like,
Yeah,
here's a tiny little burst. And then as far as the captions go, do you change those with each one of those posts as it pertains to something different?
yeah, yeah. You could just switch it up. Just I wouldn't use the same caption over and over again. It would just be like, if it was like the POD one, you could just be like, "Oh, I had a blast in Tampa. It was awesome. I had a great to meet so many new people." And then the middle one could be like, "Oh, we went out on a cruise out in Tampa Bay. It was awesome." And then the third one's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got to get up on stage with Rob and Alex at high level." Just something like that. So I
Cool.
could use that story.
Do you recommend people mix it up between photos, reels? Like I see some accounts where it's like just reels. I'm like, wow, this is kind of all they do because I'd imagine that it gets picked up with more visibility. But do you recommend that people are giving like a blend of it all?
I like doing a blend just because the algorithm Facebook always is changing, and I've heard like it's kind of, I don't know. I hear say or you don't really know what high level. They don't come out and say like this is how to get more.
Yeah.
Whatever they're pushing, like generally whatever feature they're pushing at the time is gonna get more relevance. Like when you're posting. So when Reels first came out, if you did post reels, since Instagram was really pushing reels, it would prioritize reels more than anything. But now it's kind of leveled off as far as like what performs better, and really depends on what your content strategy is.
Got it. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And I think for most people, it's a lot easier just to post pictures
Hmm.
versus videos. 'Cause it's more, it just takes more time. But I would do a little bit of both if you can.
Cool.
And if you did want videos, I didn't include this in here, but if a good video editing software to use is called Video, VEED.io.
Cool.
It's like iMovie, but like way better, and it's all web browser based.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm terrible at the stuff that's actually on phones. Like I think CapCut was one that came
Yeah.
out. It was like just on your phone. And my 13-year-old had to teach me how to use that because I was like, I'm like always on a computer, so it's always nice when like you can do something here. That's very cool.
Oh yeah. Okay, so getting into how the algorithm works. So you have priorities of how you get rewarded for more reach on Instagram, and it all works how people engage with you on social media. I say you, like you or your business. So in order of importance, think of this as like an upside down pyramid. So you have likes, then you have comments, then you have direct messages, then you have saves and shares. But the easiest, like, it's easier to get likes, comments, and a little bit harder. Direct messages, that's a little bit harder too. And then saves, you really have to have something that is valuable for them to save it for later. So let's focus on comments right now, because the more comments you get, the more reach you're going to get as well. And that's kind of where I base everything off of, is comments first.
Got it.
So this is a good example of one of my clients. His name's Dan Morrell. He's like a big spirituality / personal development coach, kind of like Joe Dispenza or Tony Robbins.
Cool.
I guess mixed together. Great guy. He's awesome. And his events are amazing. But he has a top 5 podcast, but when he was posting these previews for the podcast, in the caption would say, just type in higher self on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app to tune in. Well, okay, so imagine what we had to do. Say you're laying in bed one night, as we all do, like scrolling before bed. Well, we see this, like, oh, I really want to watch this podcast. Well, we have to leave Instagram, go to YouTube, type in the higher self, then remember what the episode was called. I still don't remember. I've seen this like slide deck, like, I don't know, many, many times. I even made that. So I'm like, hopefully you find on YouTube. So instead, there's a better way to do it where you comment, get the link. So in this case, I don't know if you can see or not, but you can comment, listen now, a keyword, and it'll automatically reply back and sends that person a link to the podcast.
Cool. Oh, wow. That's so nice. That's very
cool. And then to take things one step further is like, it's cool. Like, it's just super convenient to get the link, and you're generating more DMs, interaction inside the DMs.
Right.
But since we know the podcast usually runs around, the average podcast episode runs about an hour. Once they click that watch now, we have a delay on it. So then 2 hours later, it will ask, hey, do you want to get notified when a new podcast drops? If they say yes, then we ask for their email, and then we ask for their phone number if they want to get verified, via notified via SMS as well.
Cool.
So just the easy way to build your email and SMS list through podcast episodes or
so
YouTube.
Yeah. And this is automated. Like this is
all automated.
Oh, yep. Wow. Very cool. Does this work on Facebook too? Or is this just an Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. And those 3 essentially.
Nice.
And then this is a breakdown of how it's nice to, like, it'll auto respond back to the person, like, hey, check your DMs or DM sent. And then it'll send the
Got it. So we build our audience with great content and consistent posting. How often do you recommend people post?
It really depends. Like, if you have good content, and think about, I like quality over quantity, because if you're just posting not great content that is not relevant to really anything. You just need to think about first, why are you posting it? And most of the time, you need to think about, what is my audience going to get out of this first? What is it? What's in it for me? I like the give you give method just because, like, just going back to the example of flying out to California, you never know. And I never even discussed pricing. And that was the game changer that built my entire agency. Like, from that point forward, it's just skyrocketed. So just keep your audience in mind first when you're really posting content. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. But just keep that front and center. Like, what is it? What's in it for others?
Them. Got it. So lots of value. And now we can personalize the experience interacting with them through this software, where they can drop a comment and then all of a sudden it goes into an automated, almost seems like, do they ever know that it's not a real person? Like, if they ask it a question that it doesn't have a response to?
We can we can program it. So, like, in Danny's case, we just said, "Hey, this is Sam, Danny's assistant." Well, Sam doesn't even exist. Like,
Sam is the robot.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So what other tips do you have going into this? So we did comments was one way to capture it, and DMs is the other.
Yeah. So, oh, I think I'm getting echoey for some reason. All right. So go into direct messages. So, so this is Emily Frost. She owns a aesthetic brand like Botox, lip injections, stuff like that. And we did a giveaway for her. It was just a $500 gift card giveaway. So people could just send her the word giveaway. We'll see in a second. So the thing about this is it's just a story. People respond to the story via a DM. And then again, it's just autoresponder. Hey, it looks like you want to enter to win a gift card. Yeah, it's cool. What's your name? What's a good email for you? And then, so we're capturing that information, the contact information, but then we also want to do an upsell. Then that's really the key, is always have a call to action on the backside. So in her case, it was just say, thanks for entering the giveaway. If you book an appointment now, you can get we'll give you a $50 skincare kit for free.
Wow. That's such a cool way to get people in and convert them. How common are giveaways? Are they pretty powerful still?
Well, most people do this is what drives me nuts too, is like, people do giveaways, but it's just, they don't really think about, all right, what's the end game for the giveaway? Most times just more followers. Well, followers is such a vanity metric now. You can go out and buy 10,000 followers right now for like $10. But they are going to be fake followers, and actually the only thing it's going to do is it's going to look like you have 10,000 followers. What's that going to do? Nothing. What you want is, especially on Instagram and Facebook, you want the engagement. A good engagement rate on Instagram and Facebook is like, it's crazy when I say this, 1% is good.
Wow.
Yeah, anything above 1% is like really good. You're going to see more engagement the fewer followers you have. But like, say you just went out and bought 10,000 followers and fake followers. Why? It's just a number. You want people interacting with your content. You want people to get something out of the content that you do post. To know, like, and trust you.
Right.
Those fake followers, they're fake. They ain't gonna know, like, or trust you. They're fake.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole purpose of social media, is like engagement,
right?
A community base versus just flexing because you have 10,000 followers you bought for no reason.
Yeah.
So this is another example of like the same giveaway, but in comment format, and to comment giveaway. But you're asking about like people doing giveaways. Oftentimes they'll just do tag 3 friends and follow us. You're entered for the giveaway.
Right.
All it does is get you more followers. But again, when you post, it's only going out to less than 1% of your audience. So even if you have more followers, they're likely not even going to see your content. And then the other reason why we do it like this is collect email and phone number, because you're playing on rented land. So what I mean is, like, you see accounts get shut down all the time for no reason, or shadow banned, like your content doesn't get seen by really anyone. Uh, so think about this: if you're a big influencer or company that has a bunch of followers and engagement, like real followers, and your account gets shut down for no reason, and you have no email or SMS list, you're done. Like, you don't have any way to get the word out anymore.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I remember, I think it was TikTok that went through the phase of like, is it going to get shut down? And people were starting to get frantic. And I was like, oh, wow, it's such an interesting culture when your whole business rides on a platform that could get taken away. It's not like your website, it's not like you own it. So this totally makes sense that you're going to want to engage and capture as many of those people then and there that you can, to, I'd imagine, take them off and then put them into like your nurturing list, things like that you can use in the future because now you have their information.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you grow your email and SMS list, you can hit them up anytime versus hoping that they'll actually see your content.
Right.
A good example, if you were an influencer, think about this: if you had 100,000 followers and had good engagement rate, and say Nike wanted to do a deal with you, like a brand promotion, and you not only have 100,000 followers, but you also have 50,000 emails and SMS as well, you're gonna get double or triple the amount that Nike is going to pay you, because you can hit up so many more people.
Right.
And
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
and that's just not just for influencers. Like, it was very, very valuable for agencies, e-com brands, you name it. The more emails and SMS you have, the more you're going to sell. Essentially, you're supposed to earn, I said, you're supposed to earn $1 for every email you have on your list per month. So just think about it like that.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Now I'm like thinking of all the ways that I can go do this for 51 blocks. So I'm like, this is so cool. I had no idea this kind of thing even existed. So this is very exciting.
Yeah, I love it. It's so fun for me, and just seeing the wins from my clients too. Like, this is Emily's. So we use Databox in the back end to see how, like, just track metrics. And so she got, like, I don't know, 632 emails, 732 contacts in total. But within 24 hours, it booked her 26 appointments. And that equates like an extra $20,000 for her in 1 week with zero ad spend.
Wow. It's so timely too. Like the way you can capture like in real time conversation, get the information, and then I'd imagine get to the booking side of things. Like it's such a cool like way to do it easily and quickly. Because speed is everything, right? In our lead nurturing and sales process. So this is super cool. What do you think, like when it comes to this form of lead generation and booking sales calls, where does it kind of stack up to all the other ways that people currently do it? So you have like your warm leads, you have all these other avenues. Where does this type of activity kind of stack up for you?
I think that it's twofold, really. Like, you're not only utilizing the list, you like, say if you have, say if you don't have a good amount of followers on Instagram, that's fine. We can run Facebook ads for that. Actually, cheaper ads than normal ads, but like comparing it to, say, email, like, I guess Facebook ads, it's just, say, let's just stick to, like, yeah, we have a good amount of followers. It's converting those followers into email and SMS subscribers when they weren't before. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, because I think where people get lost as they start all of this off is, one, it's like drinking from a fire hose when it comes to lead generation. There's so many avenues that you could go down. And this one seems like it's one, easy, right? Because you're already going to start with social media, usually as the most cost effective way to get your brand going. So you can tack this onto that, which is a cool thing. And then the other side of that, of course, is just the long term nurturing for these leads. Like you can start kind of building more of an audience and giving them lots of value along the way. And so I think this actually, like, this sticks out to me as something that the most novice like agency owner could start with, because it's not something like high spend like you have Google ads and those other areas where we're going to spend thousands to get ourselves leads. And it's not, I feel like this is hotter than cold email where we're like just like pulling a list and throwing things out into the world. So it's almost like such a cool sweet spot where you can find you were able to convert these into appointments just through an organic reach, which, this is very cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Right now, so this is the old one. So now we can actually book appointments through full AI. So not only like you get the emails, SMS through conversational AI, we can also book the appointment. Going back and forth. Hey, looks like we're having an opening on Monday or Tuesday. Which day works best for you? Oh, Tuesday. Okay. How about 2 or 4? And then they say, oh, okay, all right, 4 works good. And then it automatically books on their calendar and high level or Calendly.
That's very cool.
And then they actually send any data you collect too, also sends it directly to high level as well.
Nice.
Here's some examples, some other examples. So like webinars, to get people register into a webinar, they could do the same thing. They just do the trigger word, and then we collect their information, and then it can automatically register them in like EverWebinar, Zoom webinars, stuff like that. So it's super easy. Cool. Danny did one, Danny Morella, we did one for his webinar. His goal was to hit 3,000 webinar attendees. And he ran ads, to just traditional ads, to a landing page with a form. And we did it through just chatbot, and we filled all 3,000 seats with 0 ad spend.
Wow, that's super cool. That's awesome. I just keep watching it. I'm like, this is so easy. It just makes so much sense. Now you're done for you solution. Do you guys write everything for your clients or for the people that need these?
Yeah, so it's all done. So we have like a form you just fill out, like just to get to know your business a bit more and your brand voice, and then it creates the prompt, and then from that prompt it'll create the chatbot, and then we just need to know, like say if you want to plug it into high level, we need your high level information, your calendar, and it's just you're ready to go.
Cool.
Real estate. This is a cool one too. This is for Lux Locators in Dallas, Texas. So they do luxury apartments. And this one in particular it's just tailored to Dallas. So it's going to go through like, are you currently renting? When you want to move? And then how many bedrooms? Where at in Dallas? And then your budget, stuff like that.
Wow, that's super cool. You even have like the visual options on there, which is really unique.
And then for ecom, this is huge too. Like this is for Dixon Flannels. It's like a traditional giveaway, you could tag 3 friends, but this is like we can integrate directly in the Shopify, where at the very end you always want to have that CTA. So not only you build an email and SMS list and more followers, we'll send you a coupon code for like 10% off. So you get more sales from it too.
Nice. That's so cool. Are there any use cases where you'd say this doesn't make sense? I mean, so far we've seen, webinars and giveaways and all. I feel like this kind of the standard like use cases, but is there any scenario you run into where this doesn't work as effectively?
It really depends on like the offer. Like we did one that kind of failed. It was for my buddy owns a car dealership, and he was wanting to sell like Silverados. Well, it depends on the offer. So the offer we were doing is just $1,000 off your Silverado, but it also is a car dealership in the city selling trucks more. So he was already having issues like getting rid of the trucks.
Right.
So it just wasn't the right offer, and it really depends on what that offer is. Um, if you can match, I think it's offer market match. If you can match the right offer to the market that you're wanting to do it with, then it's gonna work. Like that Emily Frost one was it just crushed it.
That's cool.
In this case too, this is kind of cool. We can do digital wallet pass integrations where this is a gym. Say they want to do a giveaway. You don't have to do a giveaway, but say in this case you want to win a 3-month membership to the gym. Same thing. Just collects information, and then at the end we have that upsell or call to action. Hey, by the way, here's a free 1-day pass to say thanks. Come in, check us out, and then they can bring the pass in with a digital wallet pass.
Mm.
Then we scan it at the front desk with our app, and then it will trigger a workflow in high level where we know that we just converted that lead from online to offline into the gym. We scanned it, and then we can send a text and say, hey Kyle, this is Adam at Atlanta Personal Fitness. How was your first time in? To start that conversation.
Wow, that's so cool. That's like the full funnel right there. That's such a cool way to track it and everything.
Here's another one we did for like a chocolate and winery. So you can see in the middle, we scan the pass, and then it triggers workflow app. So this was for a $10 off tasting. But in this particular case, we wanted to collect more Google reviews. So we know they actually came in, used the coupon, then we just sent them a link to write a Google review. So as you know, like the more Google reviews, the higher you're going to rank on SEO as well.
Yeah, that's such a benefit to like be able to generate reviews from this kind of workflow. That's
Yeah.
super cool.
Thanks. And then one last example too. This is for a coffee shop. So it's just like free, get one free coffee. You could send it out to your emails to bring them in to introduce them to your new loyalty program. They come in, they scan it. What's cool about this is once they redeem the free coupon, it'll switch to a loyalty stamp card. So then every time they come in, they can just scan their loyalty card and it'll add a digital stamp.
Cool. That certainly beats the stamp cards that you used to get, and they'd go in your wallet, and then
With the like that punch, like
you'd never find it though when you needed it. That was always my biggest frustration with stamp cards.
yeah. I got this like thin wallet type thing on my phone, and it can hold like 3 cards. So yeah, definitely not gonna have it on it. It's like a traditional card. So yeah, that was some examples, but some more tips on how to get found on Instagram organically.
Mhm.
So like I can send you the slides after this too, for people.
Cool.
But this is a good way to be found on Instagram. So I think this is just for an hour. You're gonna spend an hour on Instagram just scrolling. Like if you do this plan, you're gonna get more reach and get more profile visits and people interacting with you.
Wow, this is really cool. This is like a formula for how
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
so you don't spend the hour anyway just like doing this, right? You
Yeah.
actually have purpose.
I literally have to like hide my phone from myself because like if a website's trying to load, I'm like my hand just automatically reaches for the phone to. It's like
Yeah.
zombies scrolling, and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? So yeah,
Cool.
if you can do this, this is gonna definitely help.
Awesome. It's good advice.
Here's some hooks that you can use to get more engagement on your social media post. These are great ideas for reels as well.
Cool. I actually have a question. When you post, let's say a reel, do you use a short like tagline or something like this, or do you actually have more of a caption? Because I see it both ways, but I almost feel like I'm seeing more now just like one little tagline or one little like enticing comment, and not like a big full blown explanation.
Yeah, I don't really like the long form content. Really, just you really have to captivate the audience if they're gonna read it all. I think So the most important part of Reels is the first 3 seconds,
Mm.
and really you need to hit those points like master 5 hacks, like master X and X time. Those hooks are gonna stop the scroll, and they're actually gonna watch that content. But it has to be in the first 6 seconds. And make sure when you're doing reels or anything kind of content like that, make sure that first 3 seconds is like thumb stopping. And also do not make, especially if you're making reels, do not make the first 1 or 2 seconds black. I see that all the time. Like accidentally make it black or set the thumbnail wrong. It'll definitely affect how many people watch it.
That makes sense.
There's like I think there's like 50 some hooks right here.
Oh, wow.
And then here's something too. The thing about to get more reach organically, so you can actually borrow traffic from other accounts. So this is one I did with High Level. I was on a spotlight session with them talking about List Builder, and you heard of collaborator post
Mm-mm.
Instagram. So basically, what you do is like tagging, but the other person that you tag, they can accept the tag, and then it'll post on
Um,
their
I've
feed as well.
Okay, I've seen that. And I was like, oh, interesting. Did Instagram pick up what Facebook does, right? Where we can have somebody else tag and post on our timeline. So it's the same idea now on Instagram.
Yeah, and they just rolled it out like a week or so ago that you can tag up to 4 people. I haven't tested it yet, but you can tag up to 4 other accounts. So imagine how much more powerful that is. Like
Yeah.
it's not only going to reach, like say you're doing content, like especially with like podcasts and stuff, and you interview someone with a huge audience. That's kind of like a hack where you can be like, oh yeah, I made all these reels, and then you post it on your account and tag, say like Alex Ramosi or something.
Hmm.
You can accept that, and it'll go out to his, and then it's going to go out to his audience. Um,
Yeah.
and the cool thing is too, the trigger words for the captions also work, even though it's on their account too. Well, on their feed.
Yeah, that's super cool. This is going to be interesting to see how well it's going to grow your, other people's followings for sure.
Oh yeah. So I'll make the ads quick, but so say you don't have like very many followers. Well, that's fine. You can run ads. It is going to cost you some money, but there's a way to run cheaper ads than traditional ads. So this is a traditional ad. This was like you just pay money, you run the Facebook ad or Instagram ad to your website landing page with a form,
Right.
and they fill out the form. It's going to be more expensive because you're pulling people off of Facebook, Instagram. Facebook, Instagram, they have a whole team of just making engagement so people consume content. So you're paying a premium to pull people off of those platforms. Uh, the best way to do it is like messenger ads. You have messenger ads and you have lead form ads. They're both stay on platform. But the cool thing about messenger ads, which not many people do, especially now with AI built in, you could do messenger ads and start a conversation with through AI and collect all the information you want. And it stays on platform.
Cool. And how do you recommend you do that on like Facebook? Is it the same? This is all kind of the same methodology you can apply over there.
Yeah, same concept. We can stay like say you did run Facebook lead ads, which are cheaper too. They're pretty effective. You can build a trigger in High Level to start the AI chatbot via SMS and qualify leads via SMS. Or you can have people on platform, which is Instagram and Facebook. Same thing, same chatbot.
Cool.
But yeah, that's it.
Cool. This is so insightful. And now I feel like I need to go back and do everything differently. This is so cool. How would people get in touch with you? I know you've got a QR code here. How would they get in touch with you otherwise if they're interested in your solution and what you guys are doing for people?
Yeah, you can just visit listbuilder.ai. That's the website, or you can go to List Builder on Instagram. It's just List Builder AI on Instagram. Or you
Cool.
can visit me on Instagram. It's just Jeff Nozzle, which is a lot harder to spell than List Builder. So.
That's That's true. We'll definitely share a link for everybody so they can come find you if they're interested. I know I'm interested in this. This is a very cool way. I've been spending a lot of time in the lead generation space, and this looks like something that can be very, very powerful as you start to grow your audience, and even just your tips on growing an organic social audience. Always very helpful for those of us who aren't great at it naturally.
I'm
um,
glad to help.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you so much for this. And again, guys, if you want to reach out to Jeff, I will go ahead and drop links where you can reach him. Otherwise, visit him on Instagram. And we will be back next month for another masterclass. This time, we're going to be talking to someone about another software that's going to nurture through more of like a video ask. So that'll be fun as well. So we will catch you guys on the next one.